All right, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to brothers pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All right, just got a article that I wanted to get into. It's called Pandemics as a Catalyst for the NWO. All right, and it's by Robert Malone. And it says their goal is total world control with unelected officials at the helm. All right, and the reason why I brought this video out, this article, it intrigued me. All right, because I just wanted to convey, or this article is going to convey how countries, or whatever country that you're from, it doesn't mean anything. All right, behind the scenes, the elites have been working, all right, to bring everybody into one, okay, through technology, through these different crises that has been taking place, through the wars. All right, and this article kind of conveyed that. I read through a few paragraphs before I went into it. There were some points that I was interested in. This is a fairly long article, but we're gonna hit some of it. There was a few scriptures that I wanted to bring out, on the pestilence, and these scriptures that have come to mind, as I'm reading this article or reading in some of these paragraphs of this article. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go through the whole article in this video, but we'll see. I don't want to make the video too long, but we'll see how what plays out through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So it says by Jill Glasspool Malone, PhD. Okay, so I'm assuming that this is a well-informed author of this article. It says each nation in the world has its own culture, governance structures, traditions, property, borders, and peoples. We must preserve the diversity and sovereignty of nations and cultures by globally synchronizing the public health response across the United Nations member states. New powers were granted to the UN and its organizations at the cost of national sovereignty. These universally applied regulations and multilateral agreements have given birth to an enlarged, globalized administrative state. All right, so what you saw with the what happened in 2020, you had that global C-19 pandemic take place. You saw the synchronizing, of, like it says, the synchronizing the public health response. All right. And basically what happened was, you had, a global response, all right, to a crisis, all right, in which, like the elites use problem, reaction, solution. You had the problem, all right, the reaction to the problem, and then the solution, okay? And behind the scenes, what happened was there was more power given to the UN, to the United Nations, all right? Every year you see in New York, you have that United Nations summit with these nations. They come together and they make speeches, and they lay out their agenda for the future. All right. But what they don't tell you is in some of those secret meetings, okay, some of those smaller summits within those meetings is the fact that they want to do away with the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And they're going to do this under the cover of these different crises, especially when they go to commit a real Holocaust, because there's going to be a real Holocaust, all right, during the time of Jacob's trouble, all right. They're really going to be laying hands on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the wicked of you. All right, the Most High is gonna give the Most High, the Heavenly Father, the God of your fathers, is gonna give the majority of the wicked of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans into the hands of their imaginations. All right, which they have torture chambers for you. They have guillotines that they purchase from Moab, all right, the Chinese. All right, they have disease warfare, all right, that they're going to implement against you. All right, because there's pandemics in the making, and also they have this respiratory disease that's going out, affecting children. All right, over there in China, they had mentioned it today. They have a respiratory disease or a respiratory illness. All right, that's going on over there in the land of Moab. All right. It says the United Nations has morphed into a Leviathan. It says its various agreements and goals seek to centrally dictate the world's the world's economy, migration, reproductive health, monetary systems, digital IDs, environmental, agriculture, wages, climate modifications, one world health, and other related globalist programs. See, this is all in the agenda. We say the digital IDs, which that's going to lead to the MOTB, which all of this stuff, they're gradually doing this. It's like the what is that? They say that you put the frog in the pot and you gradually turn up the heat. Well, that's what these devils are doing. All right, behind the scenes. Before people know it, they're going to wake up and the planet is going to be in a state of, or in the form of a prison, in which you have a select group of individuals that's controlling and pulling the strings, and the majority of people have no say in what's happening. All right. And by the time they realize it, when they go to rebel, Esau Edom hopes to be able to crush those rebellions quickly. All right, but all praises to Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, all glory be to Yahweh Bashim al-Shah for sending his son Yahweh Shai, so that we won't be slaves again. Speaking of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, because through technology, all right, and authoritarianism, that's what this devil hopes to basically put his boot on the people's neck. All right. It says, to be clear, these are the goals of an organization seeking a globalized command economy, not an organization focused on world peace, ending wars, or human rights. See, these devils, they act like they're under the guise of world peace, ending wars, and human rights. But no, these devils are about complete control and subjection. All right, they're the ones that on the other side, while they speak world peace and ending wars, human rights, they're the ones that are conspiring to create the wars, or create the turmoil upon the earth, so that they come with the reaction and people just submit. All right. It says this UN aims to regulate every dimension of our personal and national lives. It is working to reduce and eliminate national sovereignty across the world, and thereby to decrease our diversity, our traditions, our religions, and our national identities. It says the UN has partnerships and strategic agreements with member nations, as well as other globalist organizations such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and we know about their skullduggery, the World Bank, CEPIGAVI, which I don't know these organizations. It says the World Trade Organization, the WTO, the European Union, and the World Economic Forum, known as the WEF. For an example of how the United Nations operates, the WEF and the UN signed a strategic agreement and partnership in 2019. Remember that the WEF has a commitment to stakeholder capitalism, by which private partnerships work to control governments. Okay, look at it. Look at that. I'll read it again. It says, remember that the World Economic Forum has a commitment to stakeholder capitalism, by which private partnerships work to control governments. The WEF developed a plan in 2020 to use the C-19 crisis to reorganize global governance. They call this the reset, around social issues including climate change. This plan was called the Great Reset. There you go. It says the WEF is a trade organization representing the world's largest corporations. It repeatedly exploits disruptive technologies to enhance economic growth opportunities for its corporate members. The WEF is specifically designed to advance the economic power of its global elite members, otherwise known as the billionaire class. So you have these elites operating behind these different organizations and different philanthropy groups. All right. And what they're doing is they're causing chaos throughout the world through these corporations and these different Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. You got the what is it? I don't want to say the Rutherford Institute, but you had the Rockefeller Foundation. All right, they funnel money through these different foundations. All right, and they're just doing nothing but causing havoc. It says, as the WEF feeds money into the United Nations through their 2019 strategic agreement, who is managing the conflicts of interests that come with this partnership, where is the transparency? The UN has 14 specialized organizations under its leadership, all involved in global governance, including the World Health Organization, or the WHO. Oh, and you can believe that a lot of your top politicians get funding. All right, a lot of your politicians get funding through these different organizations, and money is given to them through lobbyists, and laws have changed and passed, all right, to further the agenda and ultimately put you people, the average citizen, in more slavery, more debt, more straits. All right, to the point where the average person can't figure this out. All right, but we know that this is the system of the beast. Okay, the different elites, okay, working behind the scenes and working through these different corporations, working through the finance of these different governments. All right, this is the vision that John the Revelator saw with the beast. And you say the whore that rideth upon the beast. All right, the whore, which is Babylon the Great, which is nothing but another corporation called these United States of America. It says none of these organizations have anything to do with the scope of the original UN Charter, which was focused on ending wars, promoting world peace, and human rights. That's why we call this man the devil, okay, because he sets up these different organizations, okay, like I said, with the focus on ending wars, promoting world peace, and human rights. All right, but behind the scenes, he has his own agenda. That's why the scriptures say, never trust thy enemy. This devil is not to be trusted. All right. These top politicians are not the friends of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. They're here to oppress you. And ultimately, they're going to kill a lot of you. It says the UN has been quietly building power for years prior to the pandemic through various agreements and treaties. For instance, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is a recent example of such an agreement. Agenda 2030 is a treaty for transforming our world and was signed into international law in 2015. This treaty has elevated the United Nations to a position of a self-serving global government bureaucracy. All right. Now do you understand what Revelation 13 and 16 is talking about? Who is them that causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond? All right, to take that MOTB. All right. It says Agenda 2030 has 17 goals and 169 targets, which vary widely in scope and topic, but almost all of these goals directly affect world governance. Here are just a few examples from the Agenda 2030 Treaty. Is this what the United Nations should be concerned with? Or are these issues more properly addressed by the policies of sovereign nations? We are determined to protect the planet from degradation, including through sustainable consumption and production, sustainability, managing its natural resources, and taking urgent action on climate change. Achieve full and productive employment and decent work for all women and men. All women and men. It says eliminate discriminatory laws, policies, and practices. Adopt policies, especially fiscal, wage, and social protection policies, and progressively achieve greater equality. It says facilitate orderly, safe, regular, and responsible migration and mobility of people. By 2030, provide legal identity for all, including birth registration. All right. They want to provide legal identity for all. So they want to number everybody. It says this is an agenda of unprecedented scope and significance. It is accepted by all countries and is applicable to all. Agenda 2030 is essentially a totalitarian socialist manifesto. These and many more forceful statements regarding the reduction of national rights are found in the United Nations Treaty. That's why they're trying to take your guns. They're going to take, watch you Babylonians, the average American citizen, all right? This is the end of America, all right? And guess what? This President Biden, he's down with the agenda. That's why he's pushing the Green New Deal. That's why he's doing things that are detrimental to the people. That's why he don't want to deal with the borders. Y'all got mad when Trump was in office and he got rid of that. It was a treaty. I forgot the treaty. There was a treaty going on. I think it was dealing with the Pacific. Some treaty in the Pacific that Trump didn't want to be in. Also, he pulled out of some agreements that the Europeans had, and everybody got butthurt about it. All right. But I think when Biden got back into office, he renewed those relations and those treaties. All right. This is what they wasn't telling you. That's why, man, America's finished. All right. Babylon the Great is finished. All right. It says the UN has signed strategic agreements with the largest organizations, corporations, and world powers to fulfill their utopian vision for the world. This is a new world order with unelected officials in control. That means that you and I will be ruled by a non-democratic UN administrative bureaucracy. This is a form of inverse totalitarianism, a world order based on a command economy, one that is at its core both socialist and totalitarian. Now, these goals and targets may be fine for any single nation to undertake, but this is a restructuring of the United Nations beyond its charter. Early in the pandemic, the UN, through its surrogate, the WHO, World Health Organization, declared that a global VACCINE passport was needed and provided extensive guidance to member nations to standardize VACCINE passports worldwide. In response, the leaders of the G20 issued a declaration in 2022 supporting development of a global standard of vaccination for international travel and the establishment of global digital health networks. See, I'm just reading this article. So, you know, if this devil come back a few months later and talks about medical misinformation, This man is the devil. He don't want this information to get out. And this is what they're not pushing on mainstream media. See, you got to remember that there's a story behind the story. For every story that they give you on mainstream media, there's a story behind it. And a story behind that. All right? It says in June 2023, a new initiative between the EU and the WHO for strategic cooperation on global health issues was announced. This agreement seeks to bolster a robust multilateral system with the World Health Organization at its core, powered by a strong European Union. See, these devils, all right, they're trying to corner the market on everything. They're trying to corner everything, your health, all aspects of life, all right? And they're using the United Nations, okay, as a catalyst, all right? That's why the Most High said Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. These average Babylonians have been taught liberty, all right? They stand for the American national flag, okay? That's why Babylon is going to go through some things, all right? It's going to be so bad in here that they're gonna have the citizens basically bow down to the image of the beast, all right, and take that mark. That's how bad it's going to get over here, all right, because the people have been told that we've been a free country, especially the older generation, all right. The older generation, the Boston Tea Party. How was America established according to the history? Through revolution, all right, from a tyrannical government, all right, and with the mandates that the United Nations are going to come in with, and these different puppet leaders that are set up, all right, to finesse. Like you got Joe Biden and the liberals and the people that follow Joe Biden, and these Republicans on the other side, because the Republicans if they was in power too, they're still with the agenda, all right. But you have some of them, Texans and Midwest Bible Belt, thumping Edomites, they're about liberty. They talk about liberty. You got a party called Libertarians. All right, you got people for less government. All right, and they see that the government, these people wake up to the fact that the government sold them out. Okay, you're gonna have a civil war in this country. All right, you're gonna have states that are gonna look to disassociate themselves with the federal government. And you know what I found out today? I was reading an article today. I found out that a lot of these states are in debt. Okay, a lot of these states are in debt. So when the society, collapses, the recession gets worse. A lot of these states in particular, I know Maryland, man, definitely Maryland is going to be on for the New Deal, all right, which is to take that MOTB, all right, to have your citizens of your state take that MOTB, all right. You can just look at the mayor. I mean, not the mayor, the governor of this state, in particular Maryland. I'm speaking about Maryland, and you can know, like, he's gonna have people take the MOTB, man. All right, he's gonna push that. It says after failing to manage the COVID crisis, the WHO now seeks more money and power to control all aspects of our health and life. They intended to amend the international health regulations to govern the pandemic, prevention, preparedness, and response of future outbreaks, which include public health emergencies of any type. This includes a major role for the WHO in direct governance as opposed to a guidance-based role. So I can just say that, the scriptures, there'll never be peace in the society. All right, this is Isaiah 57:20. It says, "But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. There is no peace, saith the Lord, saith my power Yahweh, to the wicked." So as long as look, we're in this society, there's not going to be any peace. There's not going to be any time of peace and tranquility. It's always going to be a war. It's always going to be some type of turmoil, commotion. The people are always going to be in streets. There's always going to be crime. All right. And to fulfill that scripture, when they say peace and when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. All right, because when they have gotten to their point where they want to say that we can declare peace and safety, after all the behind the scenes skullduggery that they've created, then that's when the destruction gonna come. All right. Matter of fact, that's a good scripture. In Job, you say when he's about to fill his belly, because this is what this devil has done. When he's getting right, he's preparing a meal. He's preparing his table. All right, he's putting everything on the table. You know, the food's been cooking for years, since the 1700s. You know, the meal's been prepped. You know, he's setting the table. You know, he got the forks in a line. You know, he got the plates going. All right, now the food is starting to be put on the table, and that's when the Most High is going to get him. This is Job 20 and 21. Matter of fact, 20. Job 20. I'll start at 19. Matter of fact, I'll start at 18. Yeah, this is Job 20 and 18. It says, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, the payback. All right. And he shall not rejoice therein, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he built not. All right. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. All right. And this is his desire. He's doing all of this stuff, all of this wickedness, through these different organizations that he set up. All right. He create one treaty. All right. And that's what they always do. They create something that's intended for one thing, and then the attention over years is that's not what it's intended for. It's intended to oppress. All right. That's how this devil moves, man. It says, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he built not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meats be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And it's talking about the wicked. It's not actually talking about the wicked like we read in like I read in Isaiah 57. That's talking about the laborer. All right, that word should be a mal, which means laborer. All right, because the laborer is going to come up against him. All right, there's going to be riots, and people are going to be rioting against their government. That's why the scriptures speak about in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, it says, there shall be sedition among men. All right, they say they shall not have regards for their kings or princes. All right. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. All right, so the Most High is going to get this devil, man. All right, while he's about to fill his belly, it says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So their main prize, okay, their main cash cow, which is Babylon the Great, is going to be totally destroyed. All right. Right down here, I'm reading. It says, the pandemic has allowed world leaders to coalesce, let me see what that word means. Come together to form one mass. It says come together to form one mass or whole.
Coalesce.
So that word is coalesce. It says the world pandemic has allowed world leaders to coalesce global administrative powers under the guise of public health through the administrative bureaucracy of the UN. Public health has been weaponized to gain control of passports, travel, banking, the environment, and the international economy. This is a gross violation of the individual's right to privacy, national sovereignty, and the UN Charter. It is just a matter of time before these vaccine passports will be coupled with central bank digital currencies. Then the passports can be used to deny the unvaccinated or other political dissenters access to travel, use of their own money. Once international passports, central bank digital currencies, command economy aspects of the UN's Agenda 2030 and the WHO amendments to the IHR are put into place, the groundwork for a new world order will be complete. A global administrative state whose core power resides with the UN. That's where you get the beast from, all right? It says will become a superweb of rules, regulations, agreements, and treaties within which individuals and nations will be trapped like flies. All right, so when people wake up, especially when Babylonians wake up to this, all right, that's why the Most High, man, the Most High gotta deliver us. All right, this thing can't happen for long. That's why we're looking for Yahweh Shimon Shah to deliver us. It says, this new, break their teeth. And, break their teeth, O Lord. Take their power, Because this is a representation of these devils' teeth. This is Psalm 58:6. It says, break their teeth, O Yahweh, in their mouths. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. All right, because when the Most High takes them out, he takes their imaginations with them. All right, when the top elites go into slavery, all right, there goes their wicked imagination. All right. It says, let me see. It says, this new global governance will be virtually unbreakable. From there, it is only a matter of time before national sovereignty becomes obsolete. This is a reality unless we fight to stop this madness. For this reason, the power of the United Nations must be exposed and curtailed. Globalists seek to advance their agendas, are using the model of the European Union, whereby rules and regulations stymie national sovereignty, to build a worldwide system of control. So this is how these devils are doing it. And they're doing it right before your face. While people watching, football, people being entertained, people working to survive. And here these people are busting their ass to survive out here, to make a living out here in an inflationary period, all right, where the dollar is diminishing in value, because it's a fiat, and all of these currencies are diminishing in value. Because what happened during the pandemic, all right, or these central banks were in sync to put a lot of money into the system, all right? And now you have inflation. Now you're in an inflationary period throughout the world, all right? And then you have these other nations like the BRICS, all right? They're structuring their economies, all right, to be adversarial to the Western economies. And people while they're working, while they're struggling to survive, these devils are behind the scenes pushing their own agenda, all right, which is going to fulfill the prophecies in the scriptures. But it's always like these Edomites write in their articles, all must fight this takeover at the local, national, and international level. We must use the courts, our legislatures, which all of these are paid off. All of these, the elites have their money tied into it. So how are you going to fight against this? Public protests and the powers vested in our national and state sovereignty to fight this. Yeah, public protests. See, after you people protest, you go right to the restaurants and you spend money and you eat. Thus bringing different tax dollars to those different municipalities that you are protesting against. You see how it goes? You know, the best thing for people to do, or every citizen should just stop doing what they're doing. Everybody just stop working. You know, but that's not going to happen. All right? Because guess what? These corporations, they're the ones that put the food in your stores. They'll just stop putting food in your stores. And what you going to eat? You're just going to have to go back to them. And this is how the system is set up. They know this. That's why the Most High is the only power that's going to be able to deliver us from this tyranny. That's why the scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right? It says, let's work together to keep our personal and national sovereignty safe for the future generation. Nah, this is it. A NWO is not needed, is not acceptable, and we the people and our sovereign governments should unequivocally reject the globalized takeover. But what if you have a president, you got a president that's down with the agenda right in office right now? So this is what these Edomites always write at the end of the article. They tell you the bad, and then they always give you optimistic of good for the future if, you participate. But, hey, man, it is what it is. Let's get a few more scriptures. I was holding 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. This is 2nd Ezra 16. A new world. Oh, hey, he had a song about that. Who was that? I forgot his name. He had a song called "A New World Order, a Brand New Day." Curtis Mayfield, man, he had a song back then. But it's going to be a real new world order once the Most High take these devils out of power. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 5. It says, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood? Or may any one quench the fire in the stubble when it have begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? It says, the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. All right, those are those missiles. All right, scriptures liken them unto a bow. All right, the right hand of the Lord bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp. We'll talk about those nuclear missiles. All right, because that's going to put an end to this agenda, all right, that this devil is implementing. All right, and in the presence of the Lamb, all right, that's the people that take that the mark, which is the end game of what they want to push. All right, that's it. That's the punishment. That's the judgment. All right, I get that real quick. Revelation 14:9. I'm all the way down here, 20. Yeah, Esau always want to make something, be optimistic about it. You know, no, this guy that wrote the article, he might as well be down with the agenda. All right, you know, if he's an Edomite, he might as well be a partaker. If not, he's a two-time loser. This is Revelation 14:9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Right? So, hey man, Lord's will we be able to overcome this agenda, the UN agenda that they're pushing, all right, behind the scenes. But I made this video a little longer than I wanted. But Lord's will, this was edifying. You know, I brought out an article that just basically conveys what these devils want to bring, or what these devils are, their inner workings. Okay, you know, there was a lot of you know, meat in that article. You know, a lot of information in that article. But with that, Kol Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Akakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to you brothers pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Until the next episode, Shalom.